Welcome to the BA Coaches Show, where we talk all things Nebraska sports all the time. Interviews, breakdowns, rants, and more. Expect it all from the Nebraska diehard, Coach Ben Audi. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, or follow button and enjoy this conversation about our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Welcome to the BA Coaches Show. This episode might be short and sweet because it is such a crazy time in Cornhusker land right now that we just got to get through this and then we can have a reaction at the end. There's been so much going on. We're not doing a film breakdown today if you want the truth. We're going to do a film breakdown of the Iowa game, but I'm going to work on having a longer and better format, maybe not doing them on I don't know. We're going to figure that out. The Iowa film breakdown will be happening. I'm just not doing it right now because there's just too much shit going on. Too much going on. We got to get this talked about. Make sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're here. This episode may be short and sweet because we just got so much going on. We're going to quickly talk on the Iowa stuff. We're going to talk about all the breaking news that's been going on all day long today. And then I'm just going to get out of here and we're going to figure it out later. Okay. Oh boy. Yes. Make sure on Mondays you check out all the segments on 1620 The Zone. Go to characterchronicles.com, all that fun stuff. Let's talk about the Iowa game quickly. Like I said, we're not going to do a film breakdown on this today just because we got a lot of stuff going on, and I honestly, as there's probably going to be things said in this video that are outdated. So, all right. The offense for Iowa. Dana Holgorsen is the answer. Dana Holgorsen is for sure the answer. He has undoubtedly improved this offense. If you're just going to look at that 10 points, that's very uninformed, uneducated opinion, in my opinion. So take that however you'd like. Fumbles were killer in that game. Even the ones we recovered, didn't love that. Offense was able to move the ball. The game plan was very, very, very good for Nebraska. Just wasn't able to fully capitalize on this thing. So I definitely think that Dana Holgorsen is the answer long-term moving forward. That's the direction that I personally would like to see this thing go. The defense outside of one play was perfect. That's what frustrates me. One play in that game, take away that play, defense was damn near perfect. Iowa had like 4 plays go over 10 yards. Dude, just third down conversions killed them. That was a ass kicking, and Nebraska still found ways to lose that game. That's not on the defense. We got a lot to talk about with Tony White, but Tony White and the defensive staff coached a damn near perfect game outside of the one play with bad tackling. When it comes to special teams, yeah, that cost us the game. Are we going to say how many times in the last few years have we been able to say special teams cost us the game? You guys know me. It is not my style whatsoever to go call for anything, but maybe a change is needed in the special teams area. The strategy, where the strategies become of just fair catching everything, it's killing me, man. It's killing me. All right. Here's for me. Was I expecting to potentially lose to Iowa? Yeah, I always thought that was a 50-50 game. But what kills me about this game, it kills me inside, man. It kills me is we lose in a heartbreaking fashion. It's not just we lost by 3. It's how we did it to ourselves again. And we all saw this coming. I did a watch party. It destroyed me. It hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. I probably should have played the video for you guys. I might post it somewhere. I made a compilation of me just being heartbroken about that game. That's what kills me, is that we did it to ourselves. What's frustrates me to no end is that Iowa's strategy, and they even said it publicly out loud, is we didn't have to worry about anything. We just had to wait for Nebraska to beat themselves. And they play that way. They play so conservative, trying to keep it close because they all know Nebraska is going to kill themselves. And guess what? Nebraska beat themselves. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. When it comes to the handshake thing, look, do I really care? No. Do I wish they would have shook hands? Me personally, yeah. The main reason why? So I wouldn't have to sit here and talk about it. If you want the truth, that's the main reason I wish we would have shake hands, is so we don't have to talk about dumb shit like this when we lose. It's not the reason we lost. That cut out with that stuff. I don't think this is a classless program. I'm not going to take lectures from Iowa, right? I'm not going to be taking lectures from Iowa on, this being the classy program, blah, blah, blah. Come on now. Come on. Of all the teams to be lecturing us on being classy, we're going to talk about Iowa. Go look into their past a little bit if we're going to talk about classy. But there are things we need to talk about outside of football. That's why I kind of want to keep this one short and sweet. Tony White is officially leaving for Florida State University. I hate that. I hate to see him go, but I understand it. We got some things we're going to talk about, but it's a big loss for Nebraska. And anyone that says it's not a big loss, you're out of your goddamn mind, in my opinion. Just humbly, you're out of your mind if you think that Tony White leaving is just an automatic. Now, could they go hire somebody great that could be an up? Yeah, sure. But I'm just saying, like, on the surface, losing Tony White, that's not an addition by subtraction thing. We actually have to make a big addition. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I keep seeing there's a lot of things of that's not a lateral, or it's a lateral move. It's not a lateral move. Is that an upgrade? Is it a downgrade? Here's the thing, my opinion. I think it has the potential to be an upgrade move for him. The potential to win big there is better than the potential to win big at Nebraska right now. I think the potential to lose real big there is also way higher, but I think it's a higher floor, lower ceiling. And I think the ability to go coach more NFL guys, and you're in a recruiting hotbed. I think that's something that needs to be talked about, is you can just literally travel within a, 90-mile radius and bring in a shit ton of crazy good talent. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. There's also, here, we're going to talk about this a little bit, okay? There's been a lot of people unfairly piling on Tony White, especially just with the defensive struggles at times this season. And many of those critiques are based on just misunderstandings or just huge factors that are outside of Tony White's control. So, as someone who's done a lot of film breakdown, and I know football a bit more than I guess just the average person, don't say that as a brag. I just say that's just part of my life. I just want to clarify some things and talk about it, I guess. There's some narrative out there that this 3-3-5 defense is soft and can easily be exploited by teams that run it down our throats. And that just is categorically not true. It's not true. Statistically, the 3-3-5 under Tony White has been very effective against the run. So if you're going to call that it's soft and can't, that's false. I also keep seeing this narrative of the defense being so bad on third down, terrible on third down. The numbers say that Tony White's defense on third down is better than many of the defenses that came before him since like 2018. He's got the best numbers. So people saying that the defense can't get off on third down just don't understand anything. Or just ignore the statistics. Now, were there issues with the defense? Yeah. I'm not going to say there wasn't, but if you're going to say that, you just got to be truthful with what you're saying. Also, another stupid argument that the defense can't generate pressure with only 3 down linemen, which that just shows me I don't think you're watching the games, man. I don't think this is just this isn't something you got to be. Yes, the 3-3-5 base defense. Does that have 3 down linemen? Yes, but how many times do they send 4 or more players at the quarterback? It's typically like a jack linebacker, like our edge rusher guy. He's walked up a lot of times. So if you're just looking at it, you got 4 guys up front. You got 4 down linemen. I guess he's technically not down, right? But like he's right there coming off the edge. It's a key part of the scheme, and people are just ignoring that. If you're going to say the 3-3-5 can't generate pressure with just 3 down linemen, you're just ignoring the facts or not watching the games. There's being blame directed at Tony White for the issues, especially with zone defense in 2024. And that's where I think this gets a little bit more complicated, right? I do. In 2023, Tony White had full autonomy over the defense, and we saw a whole bunch of exotic looks, blitz packages, creative coverage schemes, especially when it comes to cover 3, cover 1 looks. There's been people a lot more tuned into the program, like with sources inside, than me. I'm not I mean, I have guys I talk to some of the coaches all the time, but I don't ask them crazy questions, right? And it's been indicated publicly and privately in 2024 that White lost a lot of that autonomy, right? Just more cooks in the kitchen. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Nebraska just stopped running a lot of these blitz coverages and they ran more of the traditional coverage schemes, right? But still being in that 3-3-5 base. I don't think that's a coincidence. And based on what I've heard again from these people that are more connected than me, and I'm not just saying, oh, I'm an inside guy, people are telling me this. I'm like, no, I'm listening to podcasts and people are saying this publicly. But this shift wasn't solely Tony White's decision, and it's a program-wide change from that rule, and that's fine. That's his program, right? And I don't think it's a coincidence that when John Butler came in, the coverage schemes we saw this year are much more aligned with him and his background than Tony White's, right? We saw a lot of match quarters. We saw a lot of Tampa 2. We've done a little bit of breakdowns on those on there, but it's not so much different than cover 1, cover 3, right? We also saw a lot less of these exotic blitz looks. To me, that clearly shows that the move towards a traditional coverage was much more about what Matt Rule and John Butler and Phil Snow maybe coming in wanted the defense to be than Tony White. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think Tony White just woke up and said, hey, I know I've been having success with all these different looks. We're going to do something different now. So here's my question. If we are going to be bringing this stuff in, if we are going to do this, why not just switch to a 4-3 base or a 4-2-5 base? Like, why not be running more traditional defense? If we're going to be running the standard NFL style look, we need to just run a base that's better suited for it, I guess, because that's a decision Rule has to make, and that's not something that Rule's necessarily done in the past, but maybe. If we do continue with that 3-3-5, we need to just have one unified voice running that defense. Again, like I've been saying, it sounds like there's just too many damn cooks in the kitchen, leading to inconsistency this year. The defensive schemes, any defensive scheme is going to work best with clarity and cohesion, and it didn't seem to be happening this season, in my opinion. And I think bringing in Phil Snow as a consultant only muddled that. The comparison, the analogy that I heard is, what if you're running, a kitchen, and your boss brought in his old really good chef just to tell you what you're doing, tell you how you can improve a little bit, So are these solely on Tony White? Absolutely not, in my opinion. Is the 3-3-5 just a terrible defense that's flawed and can't be run? No. And I think if you're saying that, you're just misinformed, in my opinion. If ran correctly and executed well with one key voice, it's a great defense. I think this year was just a mismatch of coaching philosophies. And I think that part of the reason he left was to have that full autonomy of that defense and being able to run his stuff. Just my very humble opinion, but it is my opinion there. So yeah, there's rumors. Nothing's been reported, officially as of right now. Again, this could change. We might be losing Terrence Knighton too. That would be freaking huge. We've already seen a bunch of players enter the portal. We've seen that. Losing Terrence Knighton would be killer. He is a father figure to so many guys on that defense, not just the defensive line. He's a father figure to those guys. So that's tough, man. Terrence Knighton is a great coach. He's a fantastic coach. Yeah, that would be killer. Who would I want to see replace Tony White? Here's the thing. My opinion, if I'd like to see a big time hire externally, kind of like we did with Daniel Holgerson, bring someone in from the outside. If it is an internal guy, which it wouldn't be my first choice, but if it is an internal hire, Rob Dvorak's my pick. Am I biased on that? Because I really like him. Yeah. Rob Dvorak's a really good dude. My opinion, if we are hiring internal, I would not want to see John Butler as the internal hire. If that's the direction Matt Rule decides to go, I trust Rule more than I trust myself. But I will say that is not the direction I hope this thing goes. I would not like to see John Butler as a defensive coordinator. I just don't think his philosophies are going to match up. I don't necessarily think Rob Dvorak, as much as I love him, do I think he's the perfect hire right now? No. I'll be real. Like, I think we should go hire a Jim Lenhart or somebody, right? But if we do hire internally, that's who I'd go. Before we get out of here, let's just touch on the transfer portal stuff. There's been some big hits. Here's the thing that's frustrating me. I'm bummed by a lot of these, and it's like, yeah, think people are going to enter the transfer portal, right? Yes. With the rosters going down to 105, there's going to be a big hit in the transfer portal. Is it necessary that a lot of these players enter? Yes. Is it a good thing that we have future starters or key future players enter? No. I don't see how people are saying that's a good thing, in my opinion. So we've had some really good players enter the portal. We're going to have good players continue to enter the portal, and I don't think it's a great thing. Just my opinion. So, like I said, I know this episode was super short, super sweet, but it's hard to focus on the Iowa stuff right now. So we're just gonna put it. It may not even be an episode. This is just more of a video, just talking about things. And we're gonna have more videos coming this week. We're gonna do a season recap at some point, but I just need the news to slow down before we do that. So before I get out of here, go check out nbnrpodcast.com. Go check out all their stuff. Go check out the blog section, Red Zone Reflections. Go to Character Chronicles. Lots of great Husker content creators on there. And as always, GBR and in Rule We Trust. We will be back.